Today we're going to be talking about the new Benelli Limited Edition Semi-Automatic. Right, Benelli have made a few limited edition Benellis in the past, certainly in the semi-automatic variety. So I'll speak about the three that they've made and I'll see where this one falls sort of in the categories of the grades as such. So they did one called the Benelli Raffaelo Academia, which was like, I say cheaper, it's still over 2,000 quid, but it was a cheaper limited edition auto. Then they did the 50th anniversary, which was the first one they did. I mean, that one was a lot of money. That was knocking on the door of over £3,000. But they came with stunning pieces of wood, really beautiful engraving. Not saying the Academia had horrible engraving, but it wasn't up to the standard as the other one. But this new limited edition sort of fits that middle gap in between the two. So, as you can see, incredibly nice piece of wood on these, as you'd expect. The Academias, some of them wood I could leave, to be honest. It wasn't particularly, some of them were really nice, but some of them on average they came with a bit poorer wood. I haven't seen one of these yet with a horrible piece of wood, so they're going down the 50th anniversary route wood on this one. In terms of the engraving, again, it's a bit of a hybrid. So on the back it's more of a deep floral gold inlaid engraving, very similar to the 50th anniversary. But on the front side of it, it's a sort of a light engraved game seam, which is sort of what the Academia had. So, yeah, it's, like I said, a bit of a hybrid, but it's based off the Raffaelo series of semi-automatics. So, as you can tell, you've got the removable top cover, the bolt, easily removable, great for cleaning. It's the best, in my opinion, it is the best semi-automatic on the market for a gun that is going to be used in harsher conditions. And I'm not saying A400 or Maxus, they wouldn't do just as good, but these, from a maintenance point of view, are incredible. Literally, top cover comes off, spray it all out, roll pin, knock it out, trigger unit comes out. We can show how all that happens. You don't have to be some sort of professor to work it, to do it. It's a very simple task. But when you're looking at something like the A400 and the Maxis, they have an enclosed sort of receiver. So you can get the bolt out, but it's a lot harder to do. It's more enclosed. This is incredibly simple. Parts that need replacing, like I said, the bolt literally just, you pick it up out of the action. So if anything needs, even if the whole bolt needs replacing, it's a 5-minute job. So it's built on an incredibly good platform, which is what you want. Benelli do not make, in the nicest possible way, crap. It's all good quality stuff. They've never made anything of any poor quality, to my knowledge. Maybe, probably 40 years ago, they probably weren't making things up to the same standard as they are nowadays. But nowadays, it's absolute top notch. Everything's made to perfect tolerances. Barrels, so these have the new best finish on the barrels. There are all the models of Benelli that have the best finish. The best finish has a 25-year warranty on the actual finish of the barrel, like a bluing essentially. I've been around for a couple of years now. We've sold a good number of them. I've never seen any ones that have come in. I've looked at, just out of curiosity, looked at the bluing. Because obviously a manufacturer can claim it does something, but sometimes it doesn't always happen. I've never seen one yet that's got, and I've seen some that have been in some real harsh conditions, some of these Benellis. The ones with this best finish, literally looks, more or less looks like it just come out of the cabinet or one of our racks. So the actual best finish does live up to its name in that regard. These come with the carbon rib. Bit of a personal preference, that one is. I don't like carbon ribs on guns personally, not because it's a particularly bad system. I just like the idea of a steel rib. I like heavier guns, so again, this is more designed for a hunting gun, a walked up gun maybe. You can use it for clays or something like that, but the barrels are lighter because of the carbon rib. A steel rib just aids in weight, basically, it's heavier. So I do like that feature about the older ones now, but they all seem to be coming with carbon ribs now, even some of the cheaper Benelli. The M2s don't, but certainly all the Raffaellos now are all coming with carbon ribs. Bead system, these are hot swappable beads, so you literally unthread them, thread them. Does come with spare beads in the box as well, so we can run through that and how to do it, but it's literally just thread them out, thread them on. The pad system on the back of the gun, the same systems on all sort of the limited edition Benellis. Great pad system, very comfortable. Barely any felt recoil for the recoil pad. They are quite expensive if you ever have to change them, so just do look after them. They can be quite an expensive part to buy. So with rubber pad, just put a bit of silicone oil, just something like that on it, just to keep it, you know, to clean it off if they get damp or anything like that. So just flip the gun over to have a look at this side of the action. Floral engraving on the back of the action, and on the middle side now we've got 2 pheasants and a dog. I like the engraving personally. I do prefer the deep scroll like that was on the 50th anniversary, but that was a lot of money, that gun was. I do like this. See, the idea of this one, it's sort of an in-between. It's not, you're not chucking the same money as you were at the 50th, but you're getting a lot of the features that you got on the 50th. And obviously they've had to, like I say with the engraving, they've had to keep the cost down a bit. But the boxing and everything is the same as you got with the 50th, which is now what we'll go on to. So now we're just going to have a bit of a run through of the box on what you get with the box. I like these boxes. I prefer this style of box to sort of the old violin style that you got with the M2. It's a bit more, it's easy to stack. They're just more of a traditional box. Others were curved a bit. So just from a personal point of view, they weren't my cup of tea, but this is a better design box in my opinion. Top of the roof of the box, book of words. Half of it's in Italian, but yeah, you've got all the bits in here. Limited edition card with the actual number of the gun. So something I will just mention with this gun, they have only made 1,000 of them, and so the actual number of your gun is on the gun. And that sounds a bit strange, but some guns say 1 of 1,000. Well, this actually does have a certificate with your identification number on it. That's all your little bits in there. Little. Say basically thank you for purchasing the gun. Nice little touch. All handwritten numbers on there as well, so there's a bit more handwork on it involved in this gun, but you do get your standard book of words that you do get with Benelli, and the warranty paperwork. Bottle of oil, invaluable. I've never seen anyone actually use this, but the idea is this, it goes in the action. It's a lubricant basically, but most people have oil, so yeah. So in here, this is where you get all your chokes. I like this nice little cardboard sleeve with the limited edition bits on it. So I don't want to try and get that damaged. But we'll run through the box. So plastic socks, as it were. But you do get with these actual sort of almost silk cloths with these, which is a nice little touch really, especially when you're sort of chucking that sort of money to an auto. Nice little feature, keeps it tidy and it keeps it clean. Here's a presentation. This little bag in here is an oval, so we'll just show you that. So the idea with this is obviously on the actual gun there's a red bung, is the easiest way of describing it, that you unscrew and you can put the oval in the gun. The reason they don't do this, put this in from the factory, is you might want this engraved. So literally you can just send that off, get it engraved, whatever you want to get engraved with, and it just threads, it just screws onto the oval, the hole, which is a nice little touch really. It's a nice thing that they've included that, and it comes in this nice little bag. And we'll just run through some of the more important, the bits that it actually comes with, which you're probably going to be using on a day-to-day basis. So, the box with all the chokes in it is all here. So, obviously, you're getting your flush chokes with this gun, but also with this model, you're getting a couple of extended chokes. So in terms of the chokes with this gun, you're getting 3 flush and 2 extended. So these are the new Benelli chokes. These are not your Creo chokes. These are called Of course, a bit of an odd name. Advanced impact chokes. They are longer. They make me think of an Invector DS choke when looking at them, but the bore on these is a lot wider. So it'd be interesting to see how that works out in the field when people are actually using the gun, if it's going to change anything or not. Quite a nice choke, really. Written advanced impact system on the top of the on the band of the choke. In the box, you're obviously getting your standard choke key here, with a thread cleaner on one end, the choke key on the other. Nice made metal. Shims are all in here. They've all exploded everywhere. But yeah, this comes with the shim, so you can cast it left and right. So if you were to buy this and you were left-handed, it's not a problem. We can cast it to the left, and vice versa. If you're right-handed, we can cast it to the right, or put more cast on it either way. I would never advise anyone to put these in the gun, personally. They are sling swivels. Personally, I wouldn't advise anyone putting them in. I think it probably would devalue, it would devalue the gun, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, if you're never going to sell the gun and use it as a tool, that's what they're there for. Yeah, so in the extended chokes, the chokes are a lot tighter. So with these, you're getting a full and a 3/4 in the extended. The flush, you're getting your traditional cylinder 1/4 and 1/2 constriction. So yeah, that about wraps up the box, really. A really nice box, sturdy box. No locks as such, as in the sense that they're not padlockable or they're coded. Literally just little push clips. But the reality is, this will sit in your loft and never get used again until you sell the gun, for the most part, for most people. So yeah, that's a bit of a rundown of the box. That's just a bit of review of the new Benelli Raffaelo Advanced Impact. We've just done this because it's quite a bit of new stuff with this gun, mainly being the choking system and the barrel technology. So we thought we'd just give you a bit of a review. I would just let people know that more than likely this sort of technology will now be moved onto the say the standard production line of guns eventually. So the Creo system might in a way phase out, and then this new advanced impact system will come in. So yeah, just a bit of a review there. So hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, subscribe, it helps us all out. If you've got any questions about the gun, just drop them in the comment section below, and we will, or send us an email, and we'll be happy to help. See you in the next one.